Hello, my name is Camilo Quintana, and I am the producer for an annual exhibition called Latino Art BLEND. So let's get started. The intention of this exhibit is to promote Latino artists that like a voice for the artistic community here. One of the things that you will see during this art exhibit is how artists manage to work around different colors and different richness of textures. So in this case, Victor Palomino always likes to work with very bold colors and very bold lines that makes the figurative expression of his art very catchy. Victor was born and raised in Colombia.
What I have done this year during the pandemic, it has been a year where I have a lot of time in my studio. So I decided to take the things that I had on my sketchbook and just make them bigger, enlarging things that I had on my sketchbook that I thought they were more private, like things that I do for like just doodling or just ideas that I have, but they never usually don't become like the largest pieces. And through that, there's some exercises with a line and just kind of like creative movement. And the other one that I'm showing, it's a series that started that is called Mariachis en el Espacio, translating to Mariachis in Space. I started painting those figures based on those pictures and just put them in like different spaces. And a mariachi might be something familiar, but you never see a mariachi in a gallery. You know, maybe you see it in a restaurant when you're having chips and salsa. Sometimes we don't ask ourselves too many questions and we live too comfortable where we think that everything is right and we have the final decision. I want to invite people to think about something different, ask yourself questions, and allow yourself to step out of your comfort zone for a little bit.
Mercedes is a clear example of the usage of very contrasty colors and very bold colors in Latin America. She's from Peru, and basically what she tries to do is to gather different contrasty colors that will reflect, first of all, her love and passion for art, and second of all, her culture that is implicit in all her art.
If you will look at my artwork, which there are right now ones in different parts of the city, it is all nature. The zebras that are there are purple, and the flowers that are there are also purple. I don't know, it's maybe my purple stage or something, but they are not, it's the color that I feel in the moment that, because they could be different color, and I'm thinking, why not? My favorite colors are in between the scale of green and turquoise, and for some reason I stuck with those. I don't do many reds. I don't know. It's something that is my soul that right now it is searching for certain, ease. It has probably the influence of my country. If you go to Peru, or if you see Peruvian artwork, it will be a splash of colors all the time. Like maybe with how I'm dressing right now. And it's what it comes out when I'm creating. The majority of people that comes out with my art they see happiness, a little bit piece of happiness in their household.
Maria is our youngest artist this year, and in her art you can see all the textures and elements that are very realistic and bring the attention. Something that I really like about her pieces is that she's always trying to tell a story and leave all the imagination to the expectation, to all the elements that are left out of the piece itself. So it brings another added value to the story that she's trying to tell with her pieces.
My mom is from Acapulco, Guerrero, and my dad is from Mexico City. It's quite of a little identity crisis for me, sort of being not from here or there. But it's been really interesting to sort of like incorporate some aspects of American culture within my Mexican culture. It is sort of hard describing who I am as a person, but the things I personally connect with the most is like food and Day of the Dead, because that's basically what my mom ingrained into my brain. It's like one of the biggest things for us. And then my other piece, really big painting of this Mexican dish called pozole, which is my mom's specialty, especially since she's from Acapulco. I typically don't like soups or stews or anything, but that's one of my favorite dishes. And I mean, I love it so much that I painted a really, really big painting of it. I wanted to show other people that I sort of wanted to entice them into trying different foods, even though it doesn't look familiar. It's really tasty, and I kind of wanted to show that it's tasty. That's my culture, and that's what I take pride in. I really like the action of physically getting in there with my hands and paintbrushes. I use both paintbrushes and my hands. I like the smoothness of it, being able to create a blend that I can't really create with other things. It's something I've wanted to sort of try and see if I could also replicate these big, beautiful paintings.
Kayla Figueroa is a photographer from Puerto Rico. What I like about her photography is that she's always trying to tell a story, and she's always trying to find different angles to take the best shot.
Navigating into the whole art, it was just more of an oops, if you want to say. Photography for me, it's actually kind of like an escape. Okay, it's my therapy. We live in such a busy life. Instead of just going in the go, every time that I'm out there, I try to capture the details that surround us. You know, everywhere we go, everywhere we at, we're surrounded by beauty. And you might say, oh, that was just, it's a beautiful flower. Yeah, it was a beautiful flower that you also passed by. I do have a picture of a classic car. It's a Bonneville. And the interesting thing about this picture is that everybody that see this picture have a different vision. When I was taking the picture, it was all about the different colors, the chromes, you know, the angles. It was everything that caught my eye in that moment. I had the opportunity to use this picture with my students and teach them about Cuba and how in Cuba, you know, they're also well known because of all the classics, you know, models that they have. Back in the 1950s, you know, when Fidel Castro just, you know, called out the embargo and block of any import and export, Cuba was forced just to, you know, have all their automobiles the way that they were, use their resources to continue repairing, you know, their cars. And for that, they kept those classic models back in Cuba. Another great example of seeing, you know, how you can do the best that you can with what you have in the moment. Just with the photograph, just, you know, I might show you the picture and you might be like, oh yeah, and I can just use that to attach it to a story, to attach it to the history, and, you know, just start any conversation.
I always say that the art is so magical because everybody takes out different interpretations, but what I feel the most is that they can see that Latin American people know how to do things and that they feel proud about their culture and everything. The project is not targeted to a specific audience. but for those individuals who wish to learn different artistic Hispanic styles and those who want to know a little bit more about the culture they came from.
Hi, I'm John Goman, Regional President of PNC Bank. Thank you for joining us for this virtual tour of PNC Presents LexArts Gallery Series. The arts are critical to the vitality of Lexington, and PNC is proud to support the work of LexArts and the many artists and arts organizations across Central Kentucky. With assistance from PNC and many others, our local art scene generates $32 million in annual economic value and sustains over 1,200 full-time jobs. The work of the artists and the arts organizations, supported in part by LexArts Fund for the Arts, engages nearly 250,000 young people every year. Again, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next edition of PNC Presents LexArts Gallery Series.